Welcome to the Nevis newscast for Friday, May 21st, 2021. I am Freddie Liebert. St. Kitts and Nevis has recorded 2 additional cases of COVID-19 as at Friday, May 21st, 2021. This brings the total number of confirmed cases to 48. 3 are currently active. Meantime, during a sitting of the National Emergency Operations Center NEOC briefing on St. Kitts, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws says that 20 persons identified as close contacts with the new COVID-19 case are in isolation. Dr. Laws was speaking at the National Emergency Operations Center NEOC COVID-19 briefing on May 20th, 2021.
The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis would have reported a total of 46 confirmed cases of COVID-19. The latest case, case 46, was identified yesterday. This individual is in stable condition and is in isolation. This individual works in the housekeeping department at a local hotel. This individual is a national without a travel history. Please note that this individual is not vaccinated.
Dr. Laws also said that this case is probably the first case in a cluster of cases, and because of this possibility, the public health team is engaged in robust contact tracing. This contact tracing involves identifying, assessing, and managing people who may have been exposed to COVID-19 to prevent onward transmission, she said.
When this process is systematically applied, the hope and the aim is to break the chains of transmission and contain this wave or a possible wave of COVID-19 infections. Based on the science, the public health practice, a contact is a person who has had any one of the following exposures to a probable or confirmed case. 1, a face-to-face interaction with a confirmed case within 1 meter, meaning you would have interacted with the individual 1 meter apart or less, and for a duration of 15 minutes or over.
The Chief Medical Officer said that currently the National COVID-19 Task Force is awaiting lab results from the 20 close contacts and other individuals from the local hotel where the individual is employed. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, through the National Emergency Operations Center NEOC, announced on May 19, 2021, that 1 new case of COVID-19 was present on the island of St. Kitts. In a swift response to ensure the safety and security of residents and citizens of the Federation, the chairman of the National COVID-19 Task Force, Abdias Samuel, announced that every effort is being made to contain the virus, which was contracted by a hotel worker with no recent travel history outside the Federation.
I am asking all business places and every citizen, resident, and even visitor within the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis to comply with the COVID-19 protocols as indicated by the Prevention and Control Act. Please ensure that you do your best to cooperate with the health team that is doing the contact tracing at this time. I want to advise the general public that St. Kitts and Nevis is not going into no lockdown. At the present moment, investigations are ongoing as per the usual procedure when a case is identified. So we are simply implementing our containment strategy to ensure that we protect everyone to the fullest extent. We welcome your cooperation and assistance as we do our best to continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis safe.
Further, a number of recommendations were made by the National COVID-19 Task Force and a multi-stakeholder group, with the containment strategy seen as the most effective in handling the current situation. Crisis management communication will be a key resource needed to keep the public informed as the investigation into the new case of COVID-19 continues. Meantime, bars, restaurants, and food vendors can continue to operate provided they adhere to the COVID-19 protocols. So noted Police Superintendent Cromwell Henry at the May 20th National Emergency Operations Center briefing.
Restaurants and takeaway food vendors may operate, and they may operate for the purpose of food delivery or food takeaway services. They may also offer in-dining service. If you're operating a bar that doesn't have a restaurant attached, you may open for the sale of liquor in accordance with the provisions of your license. Parties, boat rides, bands and DJs, playing at restaurants, these are restricted for now. Those persons who would have had permissions, their permissions have been cancelled. You would have received an email by now, and no new permissions will be granted. If we find that bars or restaurants are not following these protocols in terms of the physical distancing and the hygiene protocols and the wearing of masks in the establishment, you are liable to be closed down by either a police officer or the compliance team, and you run the risk of being fined, if you are taken to court, up to $10,000 or to imprisonment for 6 months.
Certain other activities will also be permitted.
Now, persons who have applied or who have been granted approval to have takeaway dinners or breakfast sales outside the established bars and restaurants, you may allow to continue these events. However, again, we expect that the protocols be observed. Persons must form a line, and they must be wearing masks and observe the physical distancing measures. Business meetings may continue. We've had some applications for annual general meetings. Workshops, you may continue with your workshops, but again, the protocols must be applied. The social and physical distancing, the hand hygiene protocols, and the other sanitization measures, as well as the wearing of masks while at these events.
Superintendent Cromwell Henry of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. Still to come, Premier's monthly press conference to take place on Tuesday, May 25th. The details right after this break.
The Nevis Water Department is getting ready to launch a new app, making it easier for customers to pay online. We've heard all the complaints, and the department has made moves, made calls to build a platform that will be easily accessible for our customers. We are getting ready to launch our ePay app. Yes, you've heard right. ePay is coming soon to the Nevis Water Department. Stay tuned. Keep your ears and eyes locked. The Nevis Water Department is here to provide you with exceptional service.
Welcome back. Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley, will host his next monthly press conference on Tuesday, May 25th. The press conference will be held at the Cabinet Room on the second floor of the Social Security Building at Penny's Estate. Premier Brantley will provide an update on matters pertaining to Nevis, and members of the press will have the opportunity to ask questions. The press conference will be broadcast live from 10 a.m. on Nevis Television, NTV Channel 99, NevisTVOnline.com, NTV Go Up, Nevis Television Facebook page, and Nevis Newscast YouTube channel. The library of the St. James's Primary School is able to provide additional offerings to the school's avid readers thanks to a recent donation of books from the institution's Parent-Teacher Association, PTA. The consignment of books was presented to the school on Wednesday, May 19th by PTA President Abigail Cozier Douglas.
The school, on January, we had Literacy Week, and we found it fitting to have a book drive. Through this initiative, we were given some donations from overseas as well as from the persons in the community of St. James. We extend our thanks to those persons who would have donated, and we are here today to officially hand over the books to the school. We are hoping that these books would be able to expand the minds of the students so that they can learn a lot more things.
The donation was accepted by the school's principal.
We are happy that we were able to receive a number of books, especially fitting for the infants, because that is a dire need for us. We are extremely grateful for those persons who took their time out to search for books that they are not using anymore, to purchase books, but more importantly, to donate them to our school. I want to say a heartfelt thank you to all of you, community members, those abroad. We really appreciate your donation.
Principal of the St. James's Primary School, Daniel Wallace. The Ministry of Education is urging the Federation's secondary and tertiary level students to double their efforts so that at the end of this school year, they will be pleased with their overall performance. The Honorable Jonel Powell made the call in his May 14th address to the nation.
The necessary entities within the Ministry of Education are currently making the necessary provisions for our secondary school students in Forms 1 to 3 to sit the end-of-year common examinations in the following areas: Communication Studies, Oral, Paper 1 and Paper 2, Mathematics, Paper 1 and Paper 2, and Integrated Science, Paper 1 and Paper 2. Students have already been apprised that the examinations will be administered during the period of 27th May to 18th June 2021.
The Education Minister also advised that Caribbean Examination Council CXC exams will be administered later than usual.
CAPE and CSEC examinations would run from 14th June to 16th July 2021, and CCSLC examinations would be within the week of 19th to 23rd July 2021.
Minister of Education, the Honorable Jonel Powell. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liburd. Thank you for viewing.